was like, am I muted?
I be grooving to that.
It's growing back on me. It's growing back on me. Welcome to your favorite two sisters on YouTube. Okay.
Those two sisters.
Yeah, those two sisters, your favorite sisters on YouTube. But if we're not your favorite, just keep that to yourself. Everybody else comment in the chat and agree with me. Okay. All right. So we are a little bit late. I'm serving lots of forehead, but as my sister pointed out, I'm not the one that has to look at me. So you guys have to deal with that. So like the video and get in the chat below. Shout out to Gwendolyn Beatty. She's one of our A1 day ones.
I love Gwendolyn.
What she said, what Gwendolyn said. Gwendolyn said, good evening, ladies. I'm legally blind in one eye with vision issues in the other. So most of the time I comment, love you both. We love you too, Gwendolyn. And I'm so glad you're able to partake in this stream.
Yes.
About that. That's one of the things that I think about as I get older. Whenever something goes wrong with my eyes, like I just had to upgrade my glasses to like progressives. So like for reading, so like down here is different.
Yeah.
Right here. And I was like, man, let's just let it stay like this.
Man, I got a whole new outlook on stuff. Like, yeah, things are in our on our bodies are aging, but I'm getting ready to ride this until the wheels fall off. Like, I'm thankful all the time that I can, do everything I need to do, that I have my limbs, that I have my, parts and stuff like that. But like, it's just a part of life. Sometimes you got to go through and like, have you ever seen like a squirrel or something with like a tail? Like, you could tell an animal has been through some stuff. It's like, it's like that animal got attacked or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's how I feel going through life sometimes. Because I know you look down sometimes and your like arm is bleeding or something, and you're like, how did I get to scratch myself?
I do that all the time. I be watching those videos where like the puppies have like to use those they have little walker things.
Yes.
Or they'll walk with 3 legs or whatever. If I put this has nothing to do with that, but if I put Post-its all over the dog one day, right? I know human shit, but it was funny as shit to me because he was just like, "What is this?" And then I put one on his front leg. He immediately was like, "Oh, it's hurt. Like, what's going on with it? I can't." And he's just
I can't use this. What in the world? That is hilarious.
Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about.
That's not what we're here to talk about. Welcome back to Those Two Sisters, aka the Black People's Meeting. Bring it to order, everybody. We have some things to discuss.
Okay.
we should talk about that. We should consider that as
that's
I don't know. Funny. Listen, we have to tell all of our Black people what's happening in the world. And so let's jump into it. First thing that I want to address is the genius of my big sister allowing me to share my platform on her platform, and we're going to just continue to do this until we stop, which is going to be after we get rich. And the funny thing about it is, this is so funny. I had to like tell myself this a couple weeks ago. I think I told you, but I might have only told James. I was like, you know what I realize about my content right now? It's not the best. It's not, where I'm going to end up being, but this is the documentation of my journey to becoming a millionaire. And so this is what we're watching, folks. Hi. Somebody right now is watching this and they don't even realize that like I'm becoming a millionaire right now. And if you're watching this in the future, this is where it started.
Well, the future you is watching the future you and hopefully the future you is a millionaire.
It is. It's happening.
Probably, yeah. I'm gonna listen. I don't have anything.
This is a millionaire show, everybody.
Ellen, what's going on, Ellen? I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna touch and agree. Okay, we're working on millions over here.
Yeah.
So what were you looking at in celebrity news that we needed to discuss? Because
guys, okay. So we try to make it we try to make it a practice to celebrate like all the positive stuff because everybody knows about the negative stuff. We're gonna get into that, but sometimes I just have to address stuff and like honestly, this is not even like necessarily negative, and it's certainly not something that I expect people to stop doing. But I don't know if y'all have seen this clip going around. I'm jumping over the place here because
no, you could whatever. I think I know what you're talking about.
Literally, I'm talking about Tommy Lee and Natalie Nunn. Now, here's the funny thing: it's like we've seen these antics from them, and I'm just gonna bring up this clip just because.
I hope it plays, please. Internet, please.
Please,
it's hardwired to the
angels.
computer. Let's go. Internet, please don't film me now, because every time I play a clip of something, that John be skipping at the wrong fucking parts.
All right, I'm gonna bring it up, but here's the thing: I'm not gonna bring the audio on. I'm just gonna play the actual.
We don't need the audio.
Okay, cool. So,
all right, yeah.
Like, it's so crazy. You know what? I hate to bring this up because it's not positive news, but I want to touch on some stuff because we all have friends who kind of like.
Oh shit, my bad.
Oh, I was like, is that coming from the video? No, we all have friends who kind of turn up sometimes and like get into these. Oh, it's an Amber Alert. I just got it too. Brown Nissan Armada. I got the same thing. So here's the deal.
Yeah, hold on. Let's read this. An Amber Alert. That's important. Okay, it's an Amber Alert. Oh shoot, I gotta say where. I'm not gonna say where it is. Let's just go ahead. It's an Amber Alert. The license plate is L is in licorice, E is in echo, P is in Papa. 1350. It's a 2015 brown Nissan Armada. So I mean, I guess it's gonna, if you're in Maryland. That's
the whole time that it took for you to say that, I still couldn't figure out how to pull it back up on my phone. So I just got to it.
Okay, let's focus on this video.
All right, guys.
Tommy comes in and she backhand pops Natalie. I'm gonna say it was in her mouth. I mean,
guys, let me just tell you. Okay, so this is how, yes, it was hanging on the edges. I don't want to celebrate this, but I just have to highlight a few things. Okay, number one. I saw this from another angle, and if you go and look up, like their names, Tommy Lee or Natalie Nunn, you can see right there what the hashtags are. That's one good thing about social media. You could like find some real funny stuff. Like whenever I buy something like weird, like a planner item or whatever, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna look this up. I look it up. And I find all these pictures. It's pretty cool. So
it could also be a bad thing too, because I mean they already knew they were being filmed though. This isn't like some random.
Look, I think some of this stuff be staged, not like she was wearing
that. I don't think was staged.
I don't think it's staged, but I sometimes think it'd be planned as far as like it could happen anytime. Like I almost between
yeah, because they make sure that the people are in the room together and they just wait to see what pop off. But the reason why I don't think it's staged is that part right there.
Yeah. Okay. And her wig came off, but you got to think like this too. If somebody know that they slipping and they're not getting as many views as they used to get, these kind of things, like, look, I've watched this several times.
I'm not letting myself get fucked up.
Look, like, I will tell you one thing.
Like you're not doing that.
No, you ain't gonna catch me like that.
No. Listen, maybe you could start an argument, whatever. I don't know. You can do a host of other things except for that. But at the moment, you can tell if this is fake, man, I'm gonna be so surprised. But you got handled in this. She came by and she said, "Poop."
She was so
nobody
open for that.
She still hasn't connected shit to Tommy. Now she's going after her, and it's like I know the rage in that moment was on 10, but I don't think she would do that. I let that be done to her.
Wasn't even it didn't look like she was expecting it. I'm not saying that they staged it like you come through and do this.
No,
she's expecting it. It's like not a choreographed fight scene. But what I'm thinking is that they might have a pact that like, all right, look, we're gonna fight. No, we're not gonna hurt each other too bad. But whenever we get the chance to make a scene, we're gonna do it. I don't know. That could be a thing. I'm not
saying that don't happen, but knowing the two people involved, Natalie came on TV fighting. So did Tommy.
Natalie stay getting like.
So that's why I don't. I mean, that whole house is full of people who can go like that at any moment to get either on either side.
I don't like that this is the norm, but I just want to be so completely transparent. I watched this show so many times. There is actually another video out there from the angle of the profile of Natalie, where you can see Tommy.
All right, I'm gonna take it down because
go ahead. You can see Tommy.
I feel bad for her, honestly, because
I wanted to bring it up because it's like these types of things. I can't explain it, but like it's just these things make the rounds on the internet. And I was actually a part of this problem because I watched it a few times. And what was crazy is that she was just eating her food. And I just don't understand how you can let somebody walk up on you like that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she was thinking that she's Natalie Nunn.
But also she's gotten snuck a few times. So anyway, I don't want to make such a big deal about
but it. I don't know, man. I think that I don't know. I got to go back and watch that.
I just want to say this. I don't want to be around people who are liable to do that. And I think once upon a time in my life, I didn't have such standards. And I was just like, oh, I could be around anybody. And it was more so about my thinking that like I have the ability to be around anyone, which is true. That doesn't mean though that I should, because you know, those types of things, while they might be like sort of entertaining in a weird way to watch, like a few months ago, Tommy was actually treated a certain way in a hotel. Did you see that when it came out? It was right around the time it happened to Mark Curry. But when it happened to Tommy,
I vaguely remember the situation.
So Tommy basically was in a hotel, and she had, you know,
I saw the Mark Curry one.
The story was like, that show was funny because he is a comedian, but that show was hilarious. It was not fair and it was not right that they did that to him, but he made it hilarious, and I was like, wow.
I mean, he really did.
So if you get a chance to Google or whatever, you know, hashtag whatever later search, when Tommy got discriminated against, which I do call it discrimination because the person behind the desk was Black, but who knows what happened. And then here's the thing, doing things like this does not help those situations either, because what if she was, I actually believed her in this case. So like the story was she went to this hotel to get her hair done, and I was like, oh, do people do that? And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I
didn't see that. Okay,
that makes sense to me. Like if you're gonna get your hair done and it's gonna be like hours or whatever, you don't necessarily want somebody that you don't know coming to your house. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see how that could be a good thing. Like, oh, meet me over here. I got a room.
I mean, because a lot of barbers do hair out of a hotel room. They don't have somewhere to do hair. They rent a hotel room, and then everybody comes through there to get their haircut.
I did not realize that.
See, like, and then if you're doing hair, you might not want people coming to your house and not messing it up, but having hair all over the place, whatever. Like, I can see people doing that, especially if you were like a traveling.
That makes all the sense to me now that you put it like that, because well, apparently though she was staying there, like Tommy was staying there.
Okay.
And something happened, I guess, with her key card or something, and the guy was basically telling her that she couldn't get access to the room. She was like, but my stuff is up there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's really unfortunate if she's standing there, if she is telling the truth that she didn't do anything. And she was like, I haven't caused any scenes. But, you know, she was basically saying like, why are y'all treating me like this? But see what happens though, right? Because when you are known for going around and sneaking people and getting into fights and pulling wigs off, then people don't really want you to be around, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah.
But, you know, it's all love there. I thought, unfortunately, I hate to admit it, but I watched it a few times.
Well, I watched it a few times, but you know, they both seem like they have no chill. So, you know, if you put, and then for her to be the person to just, I'm about to smack this bitch in the mouth. Like that right there is a feeling.
You already know how that feels.
You know what I'm saying?
You already know. Look, okay. Taking it back. When you make the decision, it's actually a couple of seconds.
It's a fuck it.
It's like because what happens though is you visualized it. You visualized it, maybe even before that day began. But sometimes in the situation, when you see the opportunity to do it, it's not enough time to like weigh whether it's the best decision. You just go off of your emotion.
And now's the chance.
I gotta do it. And that's what goes through your mind right before.
I condone that. Like I definitely don't suggest anybody walk up to anybody and do that.
You got the good angel and the little evil guy over here, right? And then the angel's like, oh, you shouldn't do it. And the devil's like, you should do it. And then as soon as the angel be like, you know what? Fuck it.
That's exactly how it is, because I mean, all you envision is you. She probably knew I'm gonna snatch this big bitch wig over her head. Maybe that was her thought, but the slap came.
Maybe that was the thought, but it never ends like that.
But you can't do that and expect nobody not to retaliate. You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta get a grip over yourself and say, because I'm saying this is not like I used to be out here in these streets beat people up, but I have unfortunately put my hands on people before, and I felt that it was deserved. However, and this was years and eons ago, but there is that feeling right before where you made the decision. If you find yourself making a decision often, then you got to really check yourself. You know?
No, listen, the goal should not be to put your hands on nobody. Like, I've gone through that as well. You know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've gone through that as well. And it's not knowing how to control your emotions.
Yeah.
Because something got you to the highest point of festivity, and you just had to act out. And it's a dumb move because, you know, it's assault. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But when you have two of these personalities, like I feel like it was bound to happen. Like, I was actually shocked to see them working together. Honestly.
Well, yeah, and also the environment. And I don't want to spend too long on this, but the environment of the way that those girls to come on that show and the way they glorify, like, oh, you got to be ready to fight. And it's like,
remember Bad Girls Club? I remember the first episode of Bad Girls Club that I watched, and I was thinking to myself, where are the authorities? Like, is there an adult in the house? Like, are they just filming these girls? And I feel like that's how it started out. They were just all baddies in there, and then it was just no fucking, like, control.
There's no supervision.
So this is the 2023 version of that.
I suppose. I mean, it's really unfortunate, but you know,
what's the name
and I'm not watching that show, by the way, everybody.
What's the name of the show?
They call it The Baddies or something like that.
Short for the Bad Girls Club, and who started it or who's involved?
I'm pretty sure. You know what? Because they all be over there like judging people, and I only seen this like on Instagram, but I've seen the auditions where they're like the girls come up like American Idol or something, right? But they have to do something ratchet, and they have to be like ready to fight, and like it's just like the ratchet audition, like how ratchet you could be. Come up and show us the most ratchet thing we've ever seen, right? And that's kind of like how it goes. And you know, then they will encourage them to like be more violent, and you got to be ready to fight. You got to be ready to tell people, you know, this and that. And this is me not even having logged on. I've never been on that network. I'm, you know, whatever.
But you watched the casting, you saying?
I've seen the clips on social media.
Okay. And those do you guys have Zeus?
We don't.
Okay.
And I support Black businesses, but I just don't want to be.
So the thing is, that's not the only show on Zeus.
There
are a lot of shows that are getting bad. We talked about this before. That's what people are watching, and it's like a train wreck or an accident. You just have to kind of take a peek sometimes at certain things, and that is us as a whole society. If somebody came on here right now, if the news came on right now, and all you heard was a bunch of yelling, you'd be like, "Hold up, what's going on over there?"
Yeah,
because we're just interested in it as people. Like, it's the same thing with TV shows, but that's not all that's over there. It is some stuff over there that is not getting as many views because it's positive. You understand? Look at us. Like, we're not doing the same things that some people are doing.
Yeah, you're right.
Get a group of people. We try to keep it positive. We talk our little shit, but people don't really. Some people do. I'm not saying that nobody doesn't, because I like positive stuff, but the masses are looking for drama. You feel what I'm saying? If you and me start arguing or whatever, we're probably
it makes you feel excited, right?
Yeah, but Faith, I'm gonna watch the show. I know Dina, aka Christina Moore, reviews that, and I always go and watch her when she talks about some of those shows or whatever, and she be breaking it down. She be over there showing clips and stuff, and sometimes she'll be like, you know, she'll give her opinion, but she's not biased, right? She says whatever she thinks, and then she opens up to get other people's thoughts. But I like her because she gives good advice as a mom. Like, you know, as an older person looking at people that are younger than us doing stuff, I am starting to have those moments where I'll be like, what the hell is going on in this world?
What the hell's going on here?
I'll be like, yo, that's the reason why I stopped riding the subway, because I don't got time to be fighting nobody's kid or whatever. Like, it was just too much crazy shit happening. And I was just like, I can't do this. I'm just drive and be around my own shit because I don't got time. But you know, we're just attracted to drama. And so, but it's some more shows on there. You don't have to just watch that or whatever. But
yeah.
But I think it's interesting because even though we don't hang around people like that, it's like anymore. Like, I've known people like that, you know.
For sure.
But you know, they have the right to be themselves as well. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to be clear that we're not trying to judge anybody based off of their, you know, choices and behavior. Like, everybody just got to do what they have to do to survive and whatever. Because there's lots of people who.
And you need to always be ready. If you
need to always be ready.
Whatever of this thing, or you're a part of it, any one of them could pop off. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Just be ready. I'm not gonna pop off in a plate of food when there's somebody in here that could punch me in my face off the side. Like, I'm gonna be looking.
He can pop off at any time, in any scenario. But you know what also crossed my mind when I was watching this? I was like, what kind of steady hand ass hater is recording this? Like, you were just ready. You were just ready. So somebody knew.
Get yourself one of these, and you could just sit there right there and just be like.
I was like, yo, whoever is recording these things, they be so on the ready, on the swivel. And I would love to know
have a camera crew there, or was that something that just got recorded from somebody's phone?
Oh, maybe it was a camera crew. You're right.
So I said
one of them I saw was from somebody's phone. For sure.
I want to see the other angle. So we're going to talk about the phone thing again.
Okay, but yeah, that was dumb. I guess that was somebody.
No, but not the phone thing. We're going to talk about, like, just remind me, when we talk about Ready to Love, I want to talk about the camera crew, because when we watching these shows, it is so easy to forget what's going on the other side of the camera, even if it's one person. You know what I'm saying? But in that case, it's probably a lot of security's part of it too. But a lot of times they do stuff on there, and even like the way they dress is for those like people who are on the production side, right?
Okay, yeah.
You got all, especially Bad Girls Club. I'm gonna call it Bad Girls Club because I mean, but yeah, they be walking around half naked because there's dudes there. You know what I'm saying? And they probably just like to do that. But sometimes it be for the camera crew. But anyway, that's enough of that. But that shit, I mean, I can't believe that Natalie was slipping like that. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I'm not condoning it. I don't think anything. She could have had the same idea and say when she walked past, I'm gonna snatch her down and just whatever. But the fact that you're in that environment, I just need you to be a little bit more alert. That's all. I mean, you know. Yeah. Now I gotta go watch the show.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's move on to the next topic. So this is great news, guys. The brat is pregnant.
That's great.
And she is 48. That means something special to me.
To me too, shit, because I ain't doing that shit. Well, my child knows how to wipe his ass. He knows how to fix his I am not going back to diapers. Absolutely not. But I'm happy for them, though. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, it's cool. And I know they had some fertility, you know, issues in the beginning. I remember it being like a big thing where they were trying for a while. And I don't think, I don't really know her name, but I know she has a mom.
Judy?
Yeah, I call her Big Woody Judy. That's what her name is on the thing, but
yeah, I forgot what her. Let me see.
She's real cool. They had some issues with. I will see. She has some health issues, and then I think the brat has some issues at first, like actually getting, you know, pregnant. Because, you know, but it's happened. I'm so happy for them. I think that's dope. She said something in an article where the brat was like, they learned a lot about women over 40 in the process. I was like, damn, what does that mean? Like, I know I've heard some of these things, but it's just like, I just, you know, I'm very glad that they got pregnant, but I'm just, I'll be worried for myself for no damn reason. But they call it a geriatric pregnancy, by the way. But
I can't believe I just did that.
So I wish her the best. I hope that
I was trying to get past this goddamn ad.
Baby, and they enjoy. I hope she's able to enjoy pregnancy, because that's one thing that I think a lot of us don't think about sometimes, is like, just the ability to create life. Like, that's such a blessing. Like just enjoying the process of it.
It is, you know what I'm saying? And I just I'm gonna pause it right there. I'm gonna share it again. Here we go, because I wanted, this picture is cute, or this still shot is cute. So, like, getting pregnant after 40 is a big deal because your body starts to change. You know what I mean? And it can be done. Like, Aunt Pat had her kids at 40 something, and I think she did have one of them at 47 or 48 or whatever. So it just all depends, because a lot of people, when you have, I feel like if I was to have a baby right now at 45, am I 45 or 46? I think I'm about to be 46.
Going to be 46 in a month.
So if I think about that, like, I would be a better mom than I would have been at 24, because now I know the stuff that I didn't know. But I might be a worse mom in the sense of now I might be way too protective. You know what I mean? It's like, remember how it was when we were growing up? We could just go outside and,
Yeah.
Now
even,
it's like,
even 18 years ago it was different, or 20 years ago now.
So mentally, I can see that it's a lot. It will be a lot more, and then like how the body changes and certain things. Like they're telling women in their late 30s that they need to start freezing their eggs. That they're almost, but yeah. So I mean, I can see, but I commend people that do it, because more props to you, because I don't have the I guess it's because I already know how it was, and I know what the energy is going to be like. But that doesn't mean anything to that person. People that want kids, they want those kids regardless, So I commend them, because that's a lot to deal with as you get older, because you start to also realize that you're not going to have as much time with them as you may have had if if you had it when you were younger. So that kind of probably I'm just speaking out of what I think, right? That probably intensifies your the way that you mother or whatever, so
yeah,
they can have babies all until wherever. So but I feel like it's a lot more sacred as you get older. I don't know, that's just my opinion, but I feel like they look cute together. I am surprised that the brat is the one carrying the baby. Were you surprised?
No, because I knew a little bit about how they had some issues, but look, they have the advantage, because it's like, well, either of us could get pregnant. Actually, can you imagine being in a relationship and being like, oh, well, I can't get, or I'm having a problem with getting pregnant, and your husband's like, I'll do it. But that has happened. Let me be fair. There has been a man, because there is a pocket of
where.
Yeah, there's a man who carried a baby before. Obviously, he didn't have it, but there's a pocket.
I want to see I want to see the article about that, because
and then there was one woman who was a trans man.
I was about to say, a lot of the people who are pregnant men that people think are pregnant men are actually people who are trans. It's like, it's a mind trick, but it's like, yeah, I can flex too. But I saw a picture years and years ago, like before, we started to really look at the internet, like, anybody could type anything or make up anything on here. And I thought it was a man, but then I was like, oh, it was a woman. It was a trans man. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I want to see the article you're talking about. It was a real, actual
biological. I feel like I did see that, and I'm going to look for it. And if I can't find it, then I guess I was wrong. Wait, this looks like the real deal, though. Maybe this is a trans situation.
Because how do you tell?
These days, I don't know.
You listen, it's a lot of people who are not clockable, as you would say. Not you, but
this is a transgender man also.
See, it's a trick. They got him.
Got me.
No, but when I saw the very first one of that, I believed it. I was like, oh shit. But imagine
no, the first one I knew. Okay, all right. So the first one,
if they could get pregnant, man, especially if it was like all of a sudden something that just like happened. I don't know.
I don't think it happens like that. So, but the point that I was making was that people have said that there is a pocket of like fat or something that the baby can live off of. It would have to be implanted, but I just don't. I guess it hasn't been done. So let me just shut up. But I don't know, but I'm glad that they're pregnant, and that's really cool, and I can't wait to I just wish them all the best. That's all I want to say about that.
I know.
Okay, so you want to talk about how Bel-Air is back on Peacock today?
Oh, now, yeah, that's just a short little. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I haven't watched it, even though
you have to watch it.
Has told me to, and I remember
you and James got to watch it. That's something that y'all can watch together, especially since you grew up on the Fresh Prince.
Yes, I remember when that trailer came out, and the guy just made the trailer off some like, oh, let me do this, and Will Smith got a hold of it and was like, oh, we're gonna actually.
Yeah, I mean, so let me just say, it's not just like Bel-Air. They are adding some more dramatic elements to it, but some of the things that we knew about them, about like they'll say, oh, I'm going here, I'm going there. Now we can see them going places instead of just being the house or the school or whatever they were showing or whatever. And it has like they can give everybody backstory, because when you have a sitcom that only shows people in certain settings, right? And most of the time it's the house. Now that you can expand on those characters, it's so good to me. Like, it is so good. If they hadn't done the second season, I was gonna be so mad. First season was really good. It came out, the new episode of season 2 premiered today at 5:00 in the morning on Peacock. So now, and then I think it comes on Thursdays. So I'm gonna be adding that to my little review train. So I'm gonna review that because I thought it was so good. You and James have to watch that.
All right, I promise I will, because I do know that it's a good show. I've heard enough about it. I just have not done
now,
it.
A lot of people are okay. So some people have mixed reviews, right? I like it, and some people are, I guess, was expecting it to be just like Bel-Air, but I'm like, no, like it makes sense for them to change. And the way that they incorporated stuff that's happening now, because back then we didn't have the things that we have now. As far as like jobs and certain jobs, you'll see that certain people have a job that didn't even exist back then, but it exists now. So I'm not going to tell it to you. I'm going to let you find it out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but yeah, definitely watch it.
Okay, I definitely will. All right. So look, next topic before we get into our main topic is, everybody's been talking about this, and I just, wanted to address it because
Sorry.
Yeah, it's about Grant Cardone making these comments, and I really don't. So here's the thing: Grant Cardone is a successful. I guess he's mostly known for real estate. And now all of these things are coming up where it seems like he's racist is such a strong word that I don't want to tag him that, but he's basically saying some things that are racially insensitive, and he's being called out right now because it's like in this particular clip he's explaining how I'm in with all the blacks, you know what I mean, like I all the young blacks between 25 and 45, and they all report to me. He didn't say that, I'm exaggerating,
but I was about to fucking say what.
I'm exaggerating. I'm so sorry. I tend to do that.
You know who he's talking about, though. But okay.
So here's the thing, and then he proceeds to tell Laura Trump, who's one of the freaking wives or something of one of those Trumps, and he's telling her as if she's some source of blackness. He's telling her how he's gained the attention or admiration or whatever of like, oh, here's how I got in with the blacks. It's just I'm excited. I'm paraphrasing, guys, because that's what I do. But basically, if I were narrating this and I was like like a puppet or whatever, I would be like, right here, he's like, this is so wrong. He's like, yeah, I know all the blacks. If I don't know them, I know somebody who knows them. And I just
like that.
No, I'm just fucking around right now. I put the blacks over here, and they just listen to what I say because I got the scoop. I just talk to them in their language. Now he did say something like that. He basically was explaining how. Oh, here's how I got their attention. Here's how they spend money with me because I know how to speak to them. I speak to them in their own. I just get down on their level. It was kind of like that. And he was saying it in this public way. And then, okay, so you can give people passes for things, right? But then when you start to see them be themselves and they have more than one sort of like cringy moment, then you have to really figure out whether you I don't like that. So then
like what I always think when people are comfortable enough to say stuff that is like out of pocket in public, that means that you've been around way too many people that have been letting that shit slide. That's what it says to me.
Here's the other thing. Then he also has a interview, and this is from years ago, so I don't even know when this came out, but he has an interview with Patrick Bet-David where let me see if I can bring this up. He has an interview with Patrick Bet-David where he talks about using the N-word and how, I should be able to use the N-word now because I'm so in with the blacks or whatever he did. And it was like very like, well, so first of all, he's not talking to a black person when he says this. So it's very odd. But
but does he know he's being recorded, which it really doesn't matter?
Yes, it's another situation where he's being interviewed. Let me bring this up. I'm sorry. I done took the thing down. I thought I had it up on another thing.
I mean, because okay, Grant Cardone knows how to make money, right? And I've heard another story back when Clubhouse first came out about something similar to this kind of thing, right? Because Clubhouse was just people speaking, and he would have these forums, and he would have all these people, talking. So I could see how the black men that he's talking about in the 25-year-old age range would be. They're looking like, oh, he's about to try to help us get money, but it's I don't know. It's a fine line between that because it sounds like he is. When you say I just get down on their level, like I don't know, I take issue with that, but
it's like it feels like he's exploiting black people, and in here he's talking to Patrick Bet-David, who is not black, okay, about how I should be able to use the N-word, and I think Patrick Bet-David was uncomfortable, but he didn't say anything like I'm uncomfortable. This is this person's channel that it's on, who's coming up now. But the idea is that,
can you play the audio? I mean, does it have audio?
It does have audio.
Let's listen to it. When it starts over again, let's listen to it.
All right. I wonder if you can hear it. I'm gonna play it and you can tell me.
There's something going on there that somebody didn't tell you about, man. I can use Mommy, Daddy, Grandpa
to use the N-word right here. Okay.
Who knows?
That's all I want. That's one of the stamps I want.
You want that?
You need
to go to
brother to tell me that I have permission to use the N-word. I got to carry it like my permit.
Have somebody validate it for you, man. Have somebody validate it.
I'm gonna have an permit card. I'm gonna carry it around with me everywhere I go.
Like, 4 colors.
I can use the N-word.
I need.
What?
Okay. What?
Yeah. And first of all, let me just go back a little bit.
It's the way that he was talking to a person
that's all
not
I want.
of
That's
color
one of the...
about some past that doesn't exist. Nobody.
Somebody didn't tell you about it.
Go ahead.
Nobody has that past that I know of. So, like, the fact that he's so openly, freely talking about it, I don't like it. I don't like it
at all either. And here's what the thing is. Here's the issue for me. So you're talking to, let's just be real here, guys. We're here. Okay. This is the black people's meeting. And so, he's not even talking to one of us. you could never get permission to degrade people unless you get it from everybody. But
like, why do you want to use the N word?
Why? Why do you need? He said he needs it. And you know,
like,
part
of that he has to say that he can't say something else.
Part of me feels like there's this clip of my man. Oh man, what is his name? From Crooklyn and from that Aaliyah movie. I'm about to find his name. Where it's a clip of him in a show that he was on or something where he was telling the people like, oh, don't you just say the word you want to say? Say it right now. They're like, we can't say it. We can't say it. That's right, you can't say it. And that's how I feel about people. You can't say it, you're not black. You can only say it if you're black. And my thing is this, like, if you say it, it's your business. But you definitely don't need to say it if you're not black. You just don't need to say it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're on the other side. Unless
this is the conversation.
You are a card carrying, robe wearing member of the other side. And I don't think that about him. But
listen, I think that
you need to say it. What is that?
Yeah. So I watched this couple. I think I just shared that couple with you or whatever. And they're a mixed couple, right? And they're funny as I don't know what, but he never says it. At least not on camera. You understand what I'm saying? Because you know that you know what that means. It's like one thing for your sister to say something to you and call you whatever name she calls you, but if a stranger comes up to you and says something that your sister would say that was mean, like, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I look at it. And why do you want to say it?
Yeah, it's weird. So, you know, and then I was watching this reaction from some people. Okay. Fourth quarter says, hi, fourth quarter. I started not looking Grant Cardone.
What's up, bro?
Okay, so I don't know. Was it 5 months ago now? So Kiana Watson is a fabulous real estate agent out of Atlanta. And actually, she was on a show called, what was it called, Demita? Did you see it?
I know who you're talking about, but I
like list something. It was like Ladies Who List.
Ladies Who List, yes.
Did you see the show?
Was it Selling Sunset or Ladies Who List?
So there was two, but she wasn't on Selling Sunset. Okay. I believe maybe though that one of the people who was on that show maybe went to Selling Sunset or something like this. But Ladies Who List is based out of Atlanta. I didn't think I was gonna like that show, and then after I saw like the first episode, I was like, yo, I really connected with the women in there. I think you did see it. But
I did see it too.
Yeah, because oh my gosh, they were so pretty and they were all like doing different things in real estate.
I mean, they were selling
all just fabulous.
They were selling homes. You know what I'm saying?
They were fabulous. Every one of the people on the show was a fabulous Black woman. It was like, wow, I love your dress. I love your makeup. I love your style. I love what you're saying. I love what you're doing. And people have their little qualms and their little personality things.
Because like people are just people, right? Everybody has.
Of course. But I loved every single last cast member on there. And each of them just had this great, like you know, personality.
She's the real estate person.
So she's tall. She oh man, I saw her Shan's
Was she the attorney?
No, she's a real estate agent. She's a luxury agent, and she was building her at the time, I think on the show, she was the one that was building her what do they call it? Oh man, I can't. She has a brokerage firm. That's what it is. And she was upset with the other lady, the older lady that was like, who didn't look older at all.
Robin was her name?
Yes,
Robin.
Oh,
okay, Robin. I know who you're talking about. I know.
That's love Robin. Even though people just like didn't like Robin, I love Robin. Are you kidding
Robin,
me? What? My favorite people to watch.
Robin was tripping a little bit sometimes.
She was. I mean, listen, she was a little loco. But I loved watching.
I'm glad you said it. I understood what was happening.
I loved watching her.
But I like her. Yeah,
every bit of it. And Kiana is like one of the best dressed people I've ever seen. I mean, like, she's so good. She's really putting thought and like emotion into her fashion. So because every time I see a picture of her, I'd be like, wow, that's really put together. Like,
and she was cute.
She's really good about that. But she also is a badass broker, and she has a brokerage firm, and you can just tell when people work hard and they like really are focused, and she gives me that vibe. Anyway, my point of bringing that up is fourth quarter. Hey, fourth quarter brought up the idea that Grant Cardone had said a little while back, like, oh, you shouldn't put your money into real estate. Like at this point, you should just, invest in other things, or now's not the time to buy real estate. And I was like, I don't think you can say that to people. Like, you're not just buying real estate just to invest. You know what I'm saying? There's something about owning a home that is personal. And I feel like you couldn't say that to someone and really mean it when you're talking about a long-term investment either. Because
well, let me ask you this: what was the context of it? Was it, this is not a good time to buy invest in real estate? It's better to invest over here, or just
he didn't say it's better to invest over here. Though he may have meant it that way, he did not complete the statement that way. He was just like, now isn't the best time to invest in real estate. If you're thinking about buying a house, you shouldn't do it now. It was something to that effect. And I'm thinking, but this is a while ago.
And thinking about who he is and that kind of talk or whatever, like, what if Earn Your Leisure said that, right? It's not a good. Maybe it means it's not a good market. It's not, the climate isn't good for it, or that's how I would take it. But he could have been coming from somewhere else. But that's why I want.
I mean, and I'm not saying that. This is just what fourth quarter said. But I just feel, to me personally, there's so many reasons to buy a home. Like, if you don't have real estate, there's so many reasons to do it that it might. And I also feel like, there are bad deals. I'm not saying that, but like, I wouldn't wait. If you're in a position to purchase a home, if there's a way you could do it, I wouldn't wait because he said that. But he has that much power to where if he says that, then people are going to listen. But you're talking about someone who owns property, right? So this is what Kiana Watson was saying. Like, you can't take advice from somebody. You might never be in his position, right? But it's like, if you don't own a home and he does, and he's telling you not to, oh, you shouldn't do it right now. Like, or you shouldn't do it, right? Like, now's not the time. It's like, okay, well, but you're a homeowner and like, you own several properties. So like, you're telling me to do something that you didn't do. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked for the context, because did he say don't do it ever? Or did he just say like,
no, I don't think that was
time to buy a homeowner thing? I think that I would have thought that he was saying that it's not, because it is sometimes a buyer's market and then it's a seller's market, right? Yeah, if you don't own a home, yes, you want to own property. If you can do it, then boom, that means you can do it. But if you found out that if you wait 6 months and you can get a better deal, would you do that?
Sure, but I wouldn't go and say, "Oh, I'm not going to do it." Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, he does have property or whatever, and I'm sure when people buy property and they make money, they can now buy more property no matter what, right? But that's why I wanted to know what the context of it was, because maybe he just meant that as a person who's purchased property and knows that it's kind of funky right now, this isn't a good time. Like, I don't know who he was talking to, but like, if it was a conversation between like him and Shane's or whatever, I feel like he would have said that to anybody that was talking about purchasing property. You know what I mean?
He said something about it being a bad investment. I'm looking at something right now, but I'm not willing to bring it on screen because it's not a viable source. It's not like, the Post or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's here. They're saying that he said, well, one place said, the quote was, "Don't buy a house unless you can afford to waste money." And another one said, "It's not a good idea to buy a home. Buying a house is a horrible idea if you plan to live in it." That's what he said. If you plan to live in it. Okay. Right. Basically, like, buying a home is a horrible idea if you plan to live in it, I guess, because it's not going to be making you money. Right. Like, that's context that I take it in. But at the same time, it's like, but you have a home, so how could you tell someone that they should rent for the rest of their lives? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, like, if I could buy a house and rent it out for enough to pay for my house that I'm living in, and I can live rent free in a luxury apartment because they renting that, then that's what the fuck I'll be living. You know what I'm saying? But I've heard that before. I think I heard it on some type of seminar that said that when you don't live in your forever home. Like, yeah, you get a nice home, but you rent out the one that's the money maker. So I guess it's
got a lot of comments
because like now you're thinking about a person who has money can live wherever they want to live. They can live over here, over there, in an apartment sometimes, in a house sometimes. But a person who wants to buy a home that is their first property that they're purchasing, then that person is going to look at it differently at the moment that they're buying it versus after they've purchased several properties. You feel what I'm saying?
Because, for sure.
Because I know people who have houses, but they live in luxury apartments because they don't want to take the trash out every day and they don't have to worry about.
Yeah, for sure. After having it, but I think it's a personal decision.
Yeah, it is. But I was just saying, I don't think he meant, like, I think that sometimes, I don't know. I don't think.
All right, look, here's what I will say, because we got to get into the other topic.
Yes.
Here's the issue that I have with him right now. You can't say the N-word, and you don't have permission, and you know, I'm watching you now. Now I'm watching you. now I have a real
bullshit. Yeah, I don't like what he said or whatever. And I don't even know what he meant because I didn't watch that show or whatever. But I guess I'm just saying I wouldn't take advice from him. I wouldn't even think if he was giving advice. I would just think
like I'm standing in line and get my
sometimes when I watch stuff or whatever, I'll be like, okay, he don't know I'm watching. So he ain't talking about me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but apparently he is talking directly to you in your street terms that the blacks like to hear.
Well, I'm not 25. So
listen. All right, listen, let's get into it. Oh my God, I can't believe we talked for this long about our pre-topics. We really trying to get I can't believe that.
Maybe we'll start with Ready to Love next time.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, all right, here's the deal. I watched last week. Thank you so much, Garcon. I just got, so I watched last week and I don't know. Okay, let's have you start. Do you want to start? Or do you want me to go in?
Yeah, I'll start because I actually so Jonique went home last week. And next episode has the ex's date for the women. The men get to meet the women's exes. So Johnny goes home, but they use the second chance lifeline to save Mark Anthony. And the men basically fumbled the bag on using the lifeline because Tommy said that was the last day they could have used it.
Did they know that?
They did not know that. They did not know that. And I bet you they were kicking themselves or whatever. But I just watched today on Kamisha Review's channel. She does these quick chats with some of the cast members. And so I think the latest one she did was Mercedes. I watched that. It's like 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? She asked them a couple questions about the show or whatever. Of course, if they're still on the show right now, they can't talk as freely as I guess they could talk afterwards. Yeah. But so that was a good chat. She explained some things, whatever. And then I watched, I think I watched Jonique's interview somewhere too. But Jonique put a lot of other stuff into perspective as well. And she confirmed a few things too. So, but anyway, so yeah, she went home and now we're here. Like I think we talked about last week who we saw together or whatever. And we were, if I remember correctly, we weren't really like on anybody like that. It was like we had to really think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me jump in here with the Jonique thing. I think what a waste of their save. Like, I get it if they didn't know, right? Because if you don't know, you don't know. Maybe they were saving it. They thought they was going to be able to save it to the end because nobody ever said when it had to be used by. I feel like that should have been stated out front if that was the case.
Tommy be
doing whatever
with them curveballs.
With the curveballs. He be really messing stuff up. I'm not messing stuff up, but he be really shaking.
Sometimes it do be messing stuff up.
It's like, what are you doing? Right? But
because I thought she was cool. But what I will say though is
I thought she was cool. I thought she's smart.
Like how she looked in her cutaway scene on the day that she left. But I think that it was a good thing that she left because she now in her interview she said she was dating somebody. And they've been dating for 6 months because this was filmed in the summertime. But she talked a little bit about, she talked a little bit about a lot. She said that she's a full-time entrepreneur. She has several businesses, and it would be better for her to date somebody else who was also the same way, so they could come and go or whatever, and they could fly to each other if they want to and things like that. So, but
I can see that from her.
Her person wasn't there. Yeah, her person wasn't there. So
yeah, I could see that oozing all out of her. Now that I hear that, like it makes all the sense to me. Even the way she would come to events and the way she would be having these conversations with people, she would just almost like she would just, say the real right away. It's not like a meeting, but like she just came. She has input. She has an I'm gonna speak on topic. Here it is. It's brilliant and
right.
I felt like it was such a waste though, because it's not even like I could think of one person in my mind right now that like deserves to go home. But it was like, dang, you could.
I can, but it wasn't a dude. They saved the dude. So
you talking about the dude side? Let me.
I just thought.
Let me bring this ass up. Would you stop it?
But at the same time, though, Faith, I don't think her person was there, so maybe it was good. A lot of the people that get cut in the beginning, or if it's a person that gets cut, that I'd be like, damn, that was unfair. It's like, nope, you know what? That person probably missed out on a whole bunch of unnecessary drama, and now they have learned something about themselves, and now they can go on and do whatever they want to do, right? I think that it was messed up because they should have used it for her. But at the same time, who was she gonna, really end up with if her person wasn't there? So, that's just how I feel about that.
Let's see. I don't even think they really updated this. No, they haven't. And they might do that on purpose. I thought about that last time. I was like, maybe they don't want people to know who's voted off until they see, so they have a chance to see the show or whatever. But anyway, Cynthia was the one who brought up my point, which was like, I'm so mad at the guys that they didn't save Jonique when they could have. And Mark Anthony did look blown, even though he wasn't one of her connections. So I think her only connection was probably, she might have been connected to somebody else.
All right, let me show this real quick. When they said her name, hold on, where is it? When they said she was the one that was gonna go home, this was Tony's reaction. This was he turned his head like,
oh, he was blown.
He was blown. I caught that right as soon as they said her name, and then he turned his head like that. I was like, I knew he was feeling her, but turns out I don't think he was the one either. So, because none of her people, like the person she said that she's dating, wasn't somebody from the cast. So.
Well, you know what? Good on her. I'm glad that she, is not wasting her time anymore, because that's really, what it comes down to when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these people are here, and let me just tell you who a few of them are. Blake needs to go the hell home. I'm sorry.
So,
I'm sorry, everybody. Why is he there? And so let's talk about that, because I know you saw that scene with him and Morgan. Morgan lit into this dude, and Morgan seems like such a nice lady. She seemed like she could cook, and she's like the person who buys good presents and stuff for people.
Look how far away they are from each other.
When I tell you that she handed him his own abs, and she served it up. Like,
okay, so Jonique said something about Blake. She said that he's not nice. He wasn't nice at all. Like she said this in the interview. So she repeated what she said when she was on the show. She said no. She said they got a group chat, and a lot of the other people are really nice, but he's not in the group. And she so to go back to Morgan and Brent, I was about to call him Brent. Morgan and Blake's date. Mercedes, I think, said that Jeffrey and Morgan are close. So that may have had something to do with why she handed him his own ass too.
Oh,
she said they kind of clicked behind the scenes or whatever. So this is a good reason, guys, to watch the little episodes like on Kamisha Reviews. She does little quick chats and she asks the questions that we kind of want to know to fill in some gaps. And then all the other interviews that are going to be going on too. Like you get extra context because it's interesting that the only other person that said that Blake was nice, even in the show, was Mercedes. She's like, I get him. I understand. It was a clip with her in the beginning when everybody was just not feeling him except for Sue. She did make a comment that she understood where he was coming from. And I was like, yeah, really? Everybody else sees that he's this unkind person or acting this way. She said he was sweet to her. That's what Mercedes said.
Okay.
And I get it. Whatever, but all of the other women except for Sue had something different to say. So I feel like that's the bubble that I would fill in or whatever. But listen, Morgan told Blake that he was an imposter, a fraud, that he was leading women on. Yeah. I don't know what that means to y'all, but to me, it means something to me. So
I need a transcript of that conversation.
Then Jonique, when she was being interviewed, she was like, listen, if dude is hiding something, all I want to know is what's he hiding, right? Listen, if that's the consensus, but I don't really care that much because I just feel like I said that once the ladies start talking in the lounge, we're going to see if he's this asshole that I see on the screen. And that was my answer. Like all of the women except for 2, so 2 out of 10 are like, nah. So
there's something to that. There's something to that, and he can't deny it. And this is the thing. Like, I want to be
okay. So if Blake don't want to be in that group chat, he don't like those people. I gotta go find his little interviews too. I guess.
I agree with that, Ellen. I think he doesn't like those people, and I don't think he's there to find love. And this is my big issue with this show. Sometimes it's like, what are we actually doing? You ever go out with a group of people and you had plans to do one thing, and then that thing kind of fell through, and you're like, on like a couple of ideas, like, well, we could do this, or we could do that, or we could do this, and you find yourself doing something, and you're like, wait a minute, what are we doing? That's what this is with Blake. It's like, why is he here? Like, what did you come here for? Like, tell me the reason. Tell me what it is that is happening.
So there was a moment, I don't know who said this. Was it Mercedes? I think it was Mercedes. There was a moment when I think Sue was going to go home. And or Sue was going to be in the bottom. And he said that he wasn't going to leave if she left. Or he was going to leave if she left. And so I guess that's part of the reason why but this happens every season though. Like they have it, like a show. Somebody is, laying out how the season is gonna go. We are missing so many things behind the scenes that happen, right? We're just seeing bits and pieces of all of this footage, and it's like this every damn season. We're looking at the footage that we see on TV and drawing certain conclusions. Because there's so much left to us, to our imagination.
Yeah.
Then by the time that makes their interviews really good, though. By the time they come out and do interviews, we're like, oh, this was
just like, what was happening? And maybe that's what I need to keep in mind when I'm watching it. Because sometimes when I have these gaps of information, like it feels like I'm confused. Like, what is happening here? What is going on? And that probably should trigger the understanding that, like, oh, there must be something going on that is abnormal or that you don't know. There's something going on because it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, so Ellen V said, Johnny said that in the interview. Yes, she did. She said she was explaining how, there's a lot of parts that we don't see. And she said the thing that I hear every season. I hear this every season, especially since 2 or 3 seasons ago, that there's a villain. They have this person that they want to cast or whatever. But that's what I say all the time when I be like, there's always this one, right? We had Justice, we had PO. Like, it's always one that just be like, but PO ended up being real cool. But sometimes it just be like, we're just seeing bits and pieces. And when you're around a person, it's like working with somebody. You know what I'm saying? They might be an asshole sometimes, but you kind of get to know them a little bit, spending 8 hours a day around them. You know what I'm saying? And so you're like, okay, I could, I like, it's like people are gonna people. So like that's what I was telling you. Like I learned to kind of like not dislike the person as a whole. I dislike some of the characteristics. You know what I'm saying? And I don't be on no like throw the whole person away campaign like out of life or whatever.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
As far as like this show's concerned and looking at the people and what we're seeing or whatever, I'm just picking out little just like little attributes or whatever that, and then Blake just seems like I said last week, like that security guard or a police officer that'll really be like a stickler for everything and even a little bit over the edge to be an asshole when he can. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it comes off to me. Now, I'm not saying that he's not funny or not, but I just.
But you know what? This isn't the first time that he heard that he's an asshole.
I forgot about that part. Blake gave Cynthia and Sue the same bracelet.
He did?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
I missed it too. But when I think it was on the boat. Ellen got to correct me or whatever. But I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he did.
You know why people do that? Because they don't think they're gonna get caught, and they forgot that they were on camera. What is happening? You're gonna get caught. Like,
I mean, yeah, you on TV, even if they didn't find out at the same time you gave it to them. Like he had to know that was gonna come out.
Some of this stuff, see, that's why I mean, like, you know what?
Why would he do that?
That doesn't make sense, right? Look. Need to implement this thought process.
Come on, Blake.
It means that something's going on. We are having a lack of information here. That must be
something that Janique said that happened.
Oh, in the interview.
Janique, I'm gonna send you that interview. Janique said a lot about like stuff or whatever. But that's why I like to watch the interviews because, like I said, at the end of the day, we're just making us, we're drawing conclusions based off of what we're given. But then you get to go get more information, in the interviews. And in some people's interviews, I just be looking forward to. Like, I was looking forward to Janique's interview. Who else I want to see? I want to see.
Andre is a character to me. I love to see an interview from Andre. Actually, I'm curious about Anthony too. I'd love to hear an interview from Anthony. And I would like to hear it. That's why they didn't air it. We didn't even see Cynthia date place. That's why I was like, he gave.
I guess that's why. Like when we were talking about like what couples like or whatever, like we don't really have enough information. I guess I don't even want to say information, but I don't feel like I've seen enough to even really connect everybody. I don't know. I do, like I said, think that Mercedes and Mark Anthony have like a lot of chemistry. Like they're on the I feel like they're lusting.
Yeah.
But that's still, we can see that they're attracted to each other. And I feel like Tony and Morgan are attracted to each other, but I feel like Tony just likes. I'm not saying that he likes women to fight over him, but I kind of think he does. Like he likes.
I mean, come on, he got that vest on. What you think? Of course, he likes it.
Smooth Tony from up top.
Listen, let me.
But
I
really want Blue to get with somebody. I feel like Blue's a nice man. Like
Blue's a nice dude. Blue. I'll tell you this.
Really seen that much of him.
Blue is getting overlooked. He's a nice guy. He's a nice looking guy. He's seems to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't think he's necessarily getting overlooked. Let me take that back. I think that he's not the forefront of the conversation for whatever reason, but he's a good. I think
he ain't been in the bottom, so I guess that says something.
He seems like a good catch, but you know what? It might just be that he's not like dramatic, right? It's just like he just might be a chill dude who comes home, likes to cook, has his favorite slippers, shit like that. Like he's probably like the background guy that doesn't, suck up all the attention and air in the room.
Maybe he's not in the bottom. He seems like a cool dude, and the people who date him have good things to say about him. It's just that he's not like,
standing out necessarily, and I think it's because he might just be more chill. But
my question, sorry.
No, go.
Now my question is like, what are they doing with all the extra footage? Like, why would they try to like purposely leave stuff out that could be something that we need to see
to understand what's happening, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I think
yes, Ellen, I totally agree. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
But see, that's where it comes in at, is that, like I was saying, you get there and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm not really attracted to nobody. Okay, so now I gotta figure out, I can't leave because I signed this contract. Let me just start to get to know people. And then you know that it looks better to have more than one connection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you could get voted off if your connection gets voted off.
Well, not necessarily, as we can see, but you want multiple people saying your name to keep you there. You know what I mean? So, like, he does need to leave Jeffrey alone because, like, no. But I can see the Mercedes were attracted to each other when Fabrice was there, and Fabrice had to go. Fabrice was creepy as fuck. He had to go.
God, how did that guy get on that show?
Sorry, Fabrice, but you came off creepy.
Sorry, Fabrice, that was not your show. That was not your show, and you know you're older than what they said. So you know you owe us an apology too.
Oh my God,
being real, but it's all love.
It's done.
All love. It's all love on Fabrice, and I realized.
Ellen said she texted her last comment to somebody. They asking her for the tea. She can't text and YouTube.
Oh my gosh, I've done that before.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, I do that at work. It's crazy. Everybody, be careful on Zoom, because if somebody direct messages you, and when you respond back, make sure you don't respond back to everyone like I did. Oh my God. But it was fine. Like what I said was completely appropriate, but
I have
it could have, and there have been conversations that were not appropriate that I'm glad those conversations weren't the ones.
I'm almost ashamed to admit this, but I've been watching YouTube, and sometimes I have to watch more than one content creator at a time, depending on what's going on. But I was watching YouTube, and I was watching something on TV, but then I had something on my phone, and I was trying to comment about the thing that I was watching on TV, but I ended up typing it in my phone. And instead of changing the page to that, and I typed in the wrong chat before. Luckily, it wasn't nothing like too off topic or whatever that looked crazy. But yeah, that's funny as shit.
All right, look, let me say this about who we have left. Now, I'm ready for. Listen, I am ready. I want to see everybody's interview, and I'm so grateful. Yes, Ellen, we got to be careful out here in these Zoom streets. But I'm really excited about what's happening with some people. Like, I really want to see more of Mercedes and Mark Anthony. I think that, Jeffrey has a couple connections, right? At this point, yeah. I was really upset to see, Jonique go home after her and Tony had just connected. But I do know that Tony and Morgan have something that I think can
and she already told him to clean it up. He being too nice to the other women.
And listen, and he was receptive to that. Like he was receptive to that. So I think that's cool. And he had a little bit of player vibe when he delivered that message too. Like
assertive women. He wants her to be. He likes that. I'm telling you, he eats that shit up. Tony, listen, I don't even know Tony like that, but I guarantee you that nigga be like.
Let me just tell you. So let me zoom in on Tony real quick. Let me tell you something about Tony's life. And I don't know this man. I don't know this man, guys. But let me just tell you what I know about somebody who looks like this in a photo. Okay.
Fuck around and do it in the wrong place, Ellen. It's a bad situation. But
I don't know the relationship.
I'm glad to know I'm not alone.
I don't know the relationship between Tony and his mom or whoever took care of him, but this guy seems like the type that he never comes to school ashy. Somebody oiled him up. You know how you can put you get your kids ready in the morning and you got the Vaseline on their face, whatever. Like, this was that kid. Okay, this is what I think about him. I think that he always got good Christmas gifts. I think that some woman taught him how to dress. I mean, but which is good. It's not something that I'm saying like a bad thing. Like I think he knows how to dress and accessorize because a woman taught him, whether it be his mom or maybe some ex-girlfriend or whatever. I think it was probably somewhere in his childhood. This little kid right here, when he was a kid, was the most like he got all the good gifts. He was lotioned up. He was never ashy. He had slippers and a robe as a kid. Like he had a good childhood. He had pancakes on Sundays. Like he showed up to picture day. He had the best backpack. That's all.
I got a totally different thing. Like if I'm gonna do this shit for shits, do this for shits and giggles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see none of that. I see a dude from the northern state. I see him, a dude from New York. He was like, he might not have been the dealer, but he was cool with all the dealers.
Okay.
He was at all the hot parties. He had all the access to be able to flex on people. Like he was that nigga, right? Okay. I feel like this is the life he lived. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he always walked around looking at women exactly how he was sitting at Morgan when he was like amping her up or whatever. Like he's like, okay, I just see him like sitting there.
Okay, yeah, I know that.
He probably he does dress nice, but I see him being like just a playboy. I really see that. I don't see this nigga. He probably wasn't ashy because he probably smelled good. He probably could.
Yeah, he definitely smells good.
But
you can see that he smells good.
Definitely, Jonique said that he was playing games. I don't remember what she said about Tony.
So
that was the part I missed because I wanted to see when I wanted to say, I heard her say that she was dating somebody else, but I wanted to see what she thought about Tony because I thought they had a connection, but it was just like so quick or whatever. But he just seems okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, right? He reminds me of this dude that I know.
Ellen, tell me, hold up. Ellen, tell me, did somebody say that on an interview or on the show?
Jonique.
She said,
Jonique in her interview
she said she thinks it was her. Someone said it. Do you think it was on an interview or on the actual show? I need to know that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Davina.
Nah, he reminded me of this dude I used to know named Dallas from he was from Philly or something like that. But them up north niggas be thinking they like that anyway. And Tony just seems like smooth Tony from up top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could even be from Baltimore or something. He looked like an old Baltimore dude. Anyway.
Okay.
No hate, no shade.
Everybody from New York is gonna be like, this shit just compared a Baltimore dude to a.
I did, everybody. Come on, let's argue.
That's not the up north I mean.
Let's argue, everybody.
But it is something about dudes. It's something about dudes from New York and Philly. Like something about their swag.
I was gonna say Philly.
To our I guess we consider Southern here in the DMV. Like to them, it's something about their swag. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
I've liked every dude from up north that I've met in my life, right? Like I'm like, he always could dress.
She said not on the show,
but they were always on bullshit. What'd she say?
She said it was not on the show. It was in like an interview. She said she saw it live though. You know how you have those details where you're like, I know somebody said that. Where did I see it? So that's what I needed to know because that means if Jonique didn't say it, because I'm about to go back and watch the interviews, but if Jonique did not say it, then it had to be somebody else who's probably already been voted off that said it. So that's why I wanted to know because I was like, okay.
But who was
like, that's not even, I don't even really need to go back and verify because he seemed like
I don't think it's who was voted off. What woman was voted off that he had a connection with? I forgot who was voted off now.
Corvaya. Did he have a connection with her?
I don't see them having, but I'm saying
it doesn't have to be somebody who had a connection. It just has to be somebody who was there to be able to say like, oh, he was playing games.
Oh, he's playing games. What I'm saying? Yeah, you're right.
I
Yeah, feel like I heard that too, but I don't know who said it. But he seems like
it was probably Jonique. It was probably Jonique.
But like I said, this is just off of what we're seeing or whatever. But that Bama he likes the attention that he gets from Morgan when she get in her bag and she be getting on him. He likes it.
Yeah, Hill wouldn't. Morgan is a good catch. And she, man, I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to piss her off after what she did to Blake. And she didn't hurt him or nothing like that. But she just told him her true feelings, and she didn't say anything. I felt this was the thing about that read. I thought about it as it was happening, and I was like, damn, well, she's not even being impolite. She's just saying the words that express the thought, but it didn't even seem emotional or anything like that. It was just like,
because they didn't have a connection. So she was just like, let me what I think about him real quick. But I mean, I don't know. I guess moral will be revealed later or whatever. But
so okay, look, who are your favorites?
But he was the one that asked her out, so I guess she was like, okay, not asked her. Well, I guess he did ask her out. He was the one that said he wanted to come and see, what.
Oh, Ellen, I thought that too. Okay, so let's be real. I love me some Morgan, and when she told Blake about himself, she was so, I don't know if she's insecure or if Tony was just taken aback by her like saying what she likes, but I did feel like when he said she was insecure, it made me think like, oh, maybe she is. So
yeah, I didn't like when he said that, and the reason why I said that is because I'm like, are you saying it for this instant, or are you saying this is the vibe that you get from her? I wanted more clarification on that, but I think that it's because you're both in an experience, right? Y'all are in the experience. Like, it's only right to let the person fully explore other options because that's what y'all are there for. It kind of fucks it up when you like, all right, you need to pick now because I've decided now. Like, you have to see how it goes because you might learn something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like whenever they approach them like that, like, it kind of throws a stick in the game because it's like, here we are openly dating multiple people and you're trying to make me only date you.
Yeah.
I haven't finished doing what you like. I'm not where you are yet to the point where I'm asking you to cut people off. Like,
also, we're all in this process. Like, just by way of being in the process, you've already agreed to date multiple people. So here's what I don't think is understood by people sometimes on the show. By way of being in the process, like the byproduct of you saying, yeah, I'm on this show, you are agreeing to date someone who's dating someone else. So even if you decide that you found your person, you have signed into an agreement wherein the person that you have found might be, found with someone else. And so you can't just ask them to not be a part of the process. Like, we're all here because we decided that we were going to go along with this. But I think that gets super lost because it's awkward and it's weird to be dating several people that know each other.
And they're talking.
Right? I think, so it's just something that's like it's an unspoken like misunderstanding, to be honest with you. Because it's like, because if you're telling me to choose you now, that means we're not on the show anymore.
I mean, and then also it means you're disregarding the other person's feelings because it's okay, I feel like, to have a conversation to see where you at with it, right? Yeah. But when you go and start saying stop being nice to the other woman, like I said in my video, she showed her crazy a little bit because all the stuff that the little threats that she was making to him and then laughing afterwards, it was so much like of that. I was just like, oh God, no, like don't do this right now because like you said, like you signed up for this show to date multiple people. So let him go through his process. Like, that's like, hurry up and marry me. Like, I want to make sure you're ready to marry me when you about to marry me. Don't marry me because I'm nagging you about it. Don't
and be that doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Nagging you about it. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of when she did it, I was like, oh no, it's coming out because women have our crazy. I don't know about you guys, but I know what my crazy is. You know what I'm saying? Some women haven't identified their crazy and they don't realize that they be coming out. But I know what my crazy is, and I make sure that shit don't overtake logical thought. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's unfair because if the situation was turned around, I feel like each person should be, I want you to finish doing what it is, finish looking for what you're looking for. See, because
make sure, please.
Yeah, because he already seemed like a player. You know what I'm saying? And the worst thing you can do to a player is try to put him in a box. So I don't know.
I could see them together, but we have to just kind of see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens with Mercedes and Mark Anthony. Now that what's his name? Andre is back. I'm so glad to see what happens with him and Cynthia. I think there's some drama coming up with Lyndon. I need them. I need you to do better.
Okay. She said Lyndon is her other option. We talk about Morgan, and she was begging Anthony for attention too. I think we was talking about Morgan, because I don't even see nothing between her and Lyndon for real.
Lyndon for real. Lyndon is the homie. Like, I don't really even know why he's there anymore. Other than again, look at this dude, man.
He came back like the champ.
I'm glad. Andre is funny as I don't know what. Andre is funny as I don't know what, yo. So I'm glad, and I want to see what happens with him and Cynthia, because I felt like they had a connection.
I want to see that date that they go on with Cynthia's ex, because to be honest, like, they kind of reminded me of each other. I said that in my video. They kind of reminded me of each other.
Who, her ex and Andre?
Her ex and Andre, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know. It was something, but dude was giving it. He was like, these are the questions that she gonna ask you. So these are the questions she want to know, or these are the questions she gonna ask you. But I want to see how that is gonna go.
That's
so
great.
Like, yeah, we're what? It's episode 7. It's about to be episode 8 or whatever. So
yeah, I'm excited. I'm really into this season. I'm looking forward to all of their interviews. There's not anybody I can say that I dislike. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not that I would want to, but I do think that Lyndon's not giving, commitment.
Lyndon do seem like if we walked into a bar, if we walked in and he was the bartender, he seemed like he'd be a cool ass bartender.
He's a cool ass dude.
He does give the, like you said, the homie vibes or whatever.
I don't think he's really aggressive and looking for love. Not that you have to be aggressive, but I don't think that's really like what his deal is. I think he just be chilling. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually an attractive quality about him, is that he's so laid back. But like, I don't dislike anybody either. I just think that I'm still gonna watch Blake's interview. I just think that Blake is one of those, just we're gonna use the word that I said.
Wait, do people get interviewed before they get voted off?
So yeah, so here's the thing. They can only talk about certain things. So Kamisha is talking to people about general stuff, right? She's not obviously asking them who was at the end or whatever. Like, she's just, it's like a little get to know them kind of sort of thing.
I didn't know that.
So it's only be 15 to 20 minutes. It'd be really interesting sometimes, because some stuff you should not think about. You know what I'm saying? And so they say what they can say, but once it's over is when all this stuff comes out. That's what I'm
looking for.
There's a
Neil has something out there. Did you see?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me say this. I think Kamisha said, I think I commented on a post that she did, that she's gonna move the panel that she does for Ready to Love. Right now, I think it's on Friday night. She's gonna move it back to Saturday morning. I think I commented on a post she did that. If she did that, I'd be so happy, because I can go back and I can be in the know of everything that's going on, because I haven't seen much of nothing. But she said there's a spoiler alert on Lyndon. Ellen, what is the spoiler?
So there's this scene that they keep playing, right? I think this is
not even plugged up.
Maybe that's not even it. What was that? Oh my God.
I was gonna say, what's the spoiler, but it didn't have the same effect because it wasn't plugged up.
Good. We didn't even know. You could have said it anyway. But look, there's this clip they keep playing of Lyndon and Tony getting into some altercation because somebody kissed somebody or something like this. So
because he kissed Morgan 3 times and Lyndon, I don't think, kissed her or whatever.
Maybe he's so laid back.
He did try to kiss was it Marcia?
Oh, it was. He tried to kiss
Marcia. Like, oh.
No.
Oh,
look, so Grant Cardone, take note, Grant Cardone. That's when you use the N-word. When somebody try to kiss you in the mouth, you didn't give them permission. No, nigga, no. That's the only way that Grant Cardone will be given permission to say the N-word.
So, I'm sorry, baby. My bad.
Anyway, okay, so
that is the spoiler on Lyndon.
Becky. Oh.
Yeah. I'm not surprised though. I can see he's so laid back. He probably, and she probably,
like, okay, sure.
She probably really showed that she liked him too. That's probably how he knew, because he just seems like he's such a, just a laid back person or whatever. So, That's interesting though. That's funny. It was funny when he was sitting on the couch with Janique.
Guys, these Beckys are all around. These Beckys are all around. Let me just say this. These Beckys are all around, and they are, you know, going to outnumber minorities. So, of course he has a Becky. Like, anybody could have a Becky. Sorry, I had to say that. Shout out to all the Beckys out there. Okay. Anybody can have a Becky because there's a lot of them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's
all I can have a Becky. If you really, hey, listen, everybody. If you really want a Becky, you can go out and get one. Anybody can have one. But anyway, go ahead.
I forgot what I was saying now. I was saying that's all I got to say about that show because I'm just, ready for the next episode.
I am too. Okay. I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna say that I don't have a favorite. I was trying to get your favorites, but I don't really have favorites. I guess Andre, not really. Cynthia's a favorite. Janique was a favorite of mine. Mm-hmm. And I think I have favorite couples more so than I have favorite like individuals.
I got favorite individuals versus couples because I don't see that many couples, but
I like Mercedes and Mark Anthony. I like Cynthia and Andre. I like Morgan and Tony.
I guess there are more than two couples.
I do not like Suanne and Blake. Guys, come on. I feel like they're writing a book together. I feel like they have a book together.
I definitely agree with that. I'm going to name the people I like. Because I don't like both people. Well, I don't dislike anybody, but Tony's a player. I'm sorry. But anyway, but I like Cynthia. I really like Cynthia. I like Mercedes. And I don't dislike the other women, but these are two ladies that I'm interested to see what they do.
Yeah.
I like Andre. I like Andre because Andre knows how to be like, around women when they're emotional. Andre knows, Andre felt some type of way about Mercedes not reaching out to him. And I kind of felt a human moment with him on that. I could see both sides, but I felt a human. I was like, okay, his feelings really were hurt or whatever. So it's going to be interesting. That's why I want to see this conversation that he about to have with the ex. So those are the people that I'm watching this week. And then I just want to see what couples we come out with after that, or if we get any closer to feeling like, people are like solidly together. Because a lot of these people have, except for Mark Anthony, Mark Anthony and Mercedes and Blake and Sue, they don't have any other options.
Wait a minute. Do you remember who Mark Anthony's other connection is?
Jeffrey. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're saying, me and Ellen said this. Look, okay, hold on. He needs to leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? He needs to leave her alone because I don't really even think she has a good connection with Andre. I think her
she seems like a fun time girl.
I think she seems like a princess. She thinks she's well, not that she thinks she's cute. I think she seems like a princess in that she just wants to come and be like, okay, I'm over here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But I did hear her say she has Crohn's disease or whatever. But I really don't think. I like her answer to I like when she went out on a date with DeMario though, because he was trying to like get on her about that kiss or whatever, but when you didn't even go talk to her. But that's how dudes be standing back sometimes silently judging you. Like, I don't even know that you're irritated about this, and then here you come with some ridiculous thing or whatever.
Wait, did DeMario get voted off?
Yes. Because he anyway. All right. Yeah, he got voted off.
I missed that. How did I miss that?
I feel like him and Corvaya could possibly end up together because I feel like they did have
perhaps.
But so I think Jeffrey's cool. She's Princess Jeffrey. Because her voice too, that's why she's Princess Jeffrey. But who's her other connection? It's Andre.
Blue.
Oh, it is Blue. See now, I will say this about her. She's Andre, Mark Anthony, and Blue. I think she did really like Blue, but I don't feel like her connection with Andre was I don't know. I feel like sometimes they're just, nurturing these connections that are like not really connections, but then at the same time we haven't really seen no dates like that, so I don't know.
Like, why are they hiding the dates?
I don't know. That's
Whatever.
crazy.
Well, we're gonna watch again this week, guys. We'll be back next week. And we also are going to be talking about Love and Marriage DC, which she can't stand Jeffrey's fake voice. Oh Lord, she took it there. Sound like Kim K.
He does. Oh my God.
That's
God. I'm not going to be able to not think about that when I watch it now.
I know. Now I can't unsee that. Like, I can't unhear that. So
I can't unthink that.
I'm gonna be looking for. Actually, I don't remember having a problem with her voice, but there's some. Go ahead. I sometimes feel like, people are like bringing their representative, which is understandable. And she gave me that vibe of like, oh, this is my representative. Like, I have to be on, right? Like, I'm not being vulnerable. This is like there's a person that I'm bringing. Ellen was laughing. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how her connections go. I guess.
What was it that said about Jeffrey about the makeup? Like, I'm concerned.
DeMario. It was DeMario.
Oh, I'm having a senior moment because somehow I've deleted him being eliminated.
Yeah. I can't remember what he wanted to use the thing on early, but I can't remember what else. I can't remember what else he did, but I feel like it was it was time for him to go, whatever. So I'm just looking forward to those dates next week. And we're gonna add Love and Marriage in that.
Yes.
Right now, Dina, aka Christina Moore, is live talking about Snowfall for those of you guys that watch that. So definitely go check out her. Dina, aka Christina Moore. Anyway, but yeah, we're gonna add Love and Marriage in. So we'll talk about that because I gotta catch up. So we're waiting for catch up.
And guys, we'll see you next week. We went over again.
I know. But thank you guys for riding with us and laughing with us. And like I always say, if you are already watching and this is not your first time, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, press the subscribe button and follow my sister. Her information is in the description box below. Unless you got any last words, I just want to thank you guys for coming out. God bless.
Thanks for coming out. God bless you. Good night. Yeah.